Good morning, afternoon. You are here for on the menu 8, applied digital skills. This is our last one that we're doing. Come over here, girl. And the last one, and this one is on Google's digital skills. Now, Danielle, have you ever used them before? Any of these lessons? Okay, good. And Erica, I think, has a little as well. So for some, it's probably just a review. But you guys know that you can totally take these decks and run with them. They are, once I train with them, you're free to use them. I don't have any problem with that. Sometimes it's just nice to have that other view too from someone else. So data and privacy, I don't think there's anything in here that you can't use. If you are a Google school, you should be good to go. And you can just make sure you talk to your DPO, whoever that might be. All right, so here we go. I'm going to actually do some learning objectives. I say we're going to do applied digital skills as a student. We'll see. With the two of you having used before, we may not need to do that, but that's always nice to do with teachers so they know how it works. You're going to see where it might fit into your existing classroom curriculum. Again, that's not so much a big deal for you guys because you are both tech integrators, so that's not a problem. Okay. Explore it as a teacher, set up a class if you want, go through that curriculum and understand what's out there, which is changing all the time. So really, what is it? It's kind of this full, I like to say full body. It makes it sound like wine, which is weird. The part I like about it a lot is that it's video based. So for teachers that are uncomfortable using some of the Google apps, and I think we've made a huge jump forward in that, so that's not as big a deal as it used to be. We'll see that they are able to do much more than they were before. I am sorry. Amelia, do you want a banana? Want more banana? She doesn't turn down food usually. Yes. Yay. That's what I just heard. Yay. Donnelly knows where I'll find that banana in the next hour, but so I feel like teachers are much better, but when we ask them to kind of do large things, they don't always have that ability to do that. So, sorry, I'm not getting texts from family and making sure I haven't killed a child. I did raise two, but they're just concerned I'm not going to make it through with an 18-month-old. The part that I like the best is that classroom teachers can easily embed these skills into a project-based or adapt a lesson that's in there, and it's built entire lesson all ready to go. They don't have to recreate the wheel. So where do we go? We go into applied digital skills with Google. I do not think that address is going to change anytime in the near future. I say that, but it's Google. Who knows? It totally could change tomorrow because I didn't think about it. You have to get up on your own, girl. Hear her yell at me? Okay, so then you can come down here and you can pick what you are. So you can be a teacher, a student. This is new to them, by the way, the learner component down here on the bottom. So I literally just pushed somebody to this last night. I'm going to go off camera. This is mad. She just got lost. No, she's just mad. She's fine. She's mad because I won't come help her. So, and then a parent or guardian, which is also really nice. So if somebody wants to use it outside of the classroom, they totally can. I like this learner component. It's kind of hard to sometimes push. Someone was asking last night about a Google form for a nonprofit. And I said, oh, go to applied digital skills, go down to the learner component, and plus here's my video that you can use. She's like, okay. So they can go through. I'm going to pick a teacher just to start with that and make sense. So here's what they are. They also, this is new, I think. I say that? Yeah, it is. So this is their new Getting Started Guide, 7 pages, which is always nice. I know, and it's, sorry, Erica, I saw that. It's like, it came through at 67%. What, you can't see it? right? So it's tiny. You can also just make your own copy. So I'm going to be totally like super crazy and I'm going to make my own copy. And I am going to put this into the drive, into the folder where this stuff already sits. So you'll have access to it. I'll just add it in there and we'll add it into the presentation so you have it as well. Then you'll have your own copy. So it talks through what it is, how it works. I mean, I know I can say this with you too. It's like pretty much, you know, that bad word proof. So it's easy to use. It also tells you what you need. So the headphones say they're optional, although I don't feel like that's such a big deal anymore. I think most kids now have headphones because almost everybody's one-to-one. We've gotten to that point, so that's pretty good. And I love this. Computer with internet access. Really? Right? Okay. Tells you how to go through it. So you can either push those lessons through a classroom or you can keep them to yourself and just kind of do it any other way. You can print them or you can just work kids through them. So I do like this. They do have these new ones. So just we're gonna kind of look through those. They have the parking lessons. They have adult education, jobs and life skills. Now, if you're looking for some older kids, I've used these a lot with like junior seniors, creating a budget, creating a resume. So almost every English teacher does this. So why create your own lesson when you have one you could use right here? Does it make sense? Okay, and they used to have 40 lessons. They're up to 100 plus. This is constantly being added to. I'm like clicking it, hoping it's going through. So this is the curriculum spot where everything comes in and you can see what's in here. So I'm going to pop back out of this for just a little bit. You've got the basics. I'm going to take you through some statistics, right? So every kid, so this is Grow with Google. And now I got to stop for a minute. What did you do? Sorry, guys. I can do this. She read her book too hard and she fell down. No, you can't have that or that. Okay, so you can watch me teach, but you can't be part of it. Okay, thank you. So we believe basically that every school have access to the skills they need. And what this does is it gives students those components that they need to be able to be successful because it really wraps in those technical skills and the 4 C's right into it. So the job market is totally changing. These statistics are from 2018, so they're a little old, and they're just, I said this to someone the other day, these are pre-pandemic, so we have to keep that in mind, right? 44% of the students, so it's 25 to 28-year-olds, believe that education was what they needed to enter the workforce. You ask my own children, don't do that. You ask my own children, they would say 0%. My 2 kids would say they were not prepared to go into the workforce, right? And they needed something else. The proportions of job that require skills that aren't taught, 1/3. Okay, and I'm just gonna like put a couple out there. How many of our kids actually know how to navigate email, how to label up their emails? Well, they don't know how to do that because most schools don't give them access to emails, right? That's a real thing. Do they know how to use a calendar? Do they know how to curate a calendar? They know how to set up events? Do they know how to do meets? Stop. And then and create their own documents. Do they know how to name their own documents, create their new documents? I'm a huge proponent that once our students get past, say, 9th grade, we shouldn't be making anything for them anymore. They should be making everything on their own because they need to have those skills in place. Otherwise, they're going to go to college and say, I don't know where this shared document is. It's coming from the Google Classroom, right? So we have to build that independence in them. And then also, this is interesting. This is going to be super low. I mean, this is a low number. Youth unemployment rate at a 12%. I read a statistic the other day that it's like 47% of like 18 to 28-year-olds are unemployed because of the unemployment money that's out there right now. And it's actually better for a lot of people. And I'm sitting there going, oh, my kids are not unemployed. Really? Okay. She's pushing chairs around my room. Okay. So this blows my mind. So this is this 2015, 65% of today's 12-year-olds have jobs that don't exist. My daughter's a perfect example of this. She is a strength and conditioning coach. I didn't know what the field of kinesiology was when she went into it 6 years ago. I didn't know it existed. I'm like, what? You can go to school for that? That's insane, right? And I kind of laughed at her. I was like, there is no way you are going to get paid to work in a weight room unless you're male. That's not going to change. Or you work for a football team. Well, little did I know, she's like a 3/4 employee at the University of Vermont in a Division I school as a strength and conditioning coach. And I feel like that's not even a big one. What are the other ones that are out there? Like, somebody's going to have to take care of those refrigerators that you can look into from your phone, right? That's going to be a whole, that's a weird comment, but somebody invented that. Somebody's going to have to learn how to take care of that. And it ain't going to be me. I can just tell you that. Okay. So some statistics say as high as 80% of students who graduate by the year 2025. We're not even there yet. So if this is climbing, and this is about halfway through, we just call it halfway through, we're probably at about 72% of the jobs don't exist, right? Even like engineers, those going into engineering, it's going to change a lot in the next couple of years because we're engineering different things now. Even my cars, I bought a new car recently and I'm blown out of the water that I get in my car and it sings to me. I know that's weird, but hey, that's technology for you. All right. So these technology lessons are going to build those practical skills. This is interesting. So when we push a lot of our kids to college, it's maybe something we don't need to do. You'd say hi, right? And 49%. So this again is a 2018 statistic. 49% of today's jobs do not require a 4-year degree. 150% of growth rate is just, this is a toddler who's annoyed. So digital-based middle skill jobs, right? So what are those things in the middle? We're gonna have some things. And then more than 50% of jobs in 2020, so we're already there, require an engineering mindset. So when you think about that, think about being a maker. So it's broken, I need to fix it. What are the problem solving skills I'm going to use to get through that? And what does that look like? Because it's very different. What do you want? Want some of this? No? You want some of this? Okay. So I can do this. I'm like a magician. So what are these applied skills? What do they look like? So it's free. This is the like one sentence I like to give. Free, video-based online curriculum. Usually that sells every teacher in the world, every administrator in the world. Sorry. We use this in the district that I tech integrate in. So I tech integrate at Salmon River, and they do not have a technology teacher. And why do they not have a technology teacher in the middle school? They can't find one to hire, right? Nobody can find one because, well, for one thing, the certification doesn't really exist in some school districts. So why would somebody go to a school district where their certification didn't exist, take a risk to get caught in the next year? So this is a way for the non-tech teacher to teach tech skills in a tech environment for those middle school classes, because it's required that every kid in middle school has a technology class. So it's one of those like kind of catch-22. So I taught the TA in the classroom how to use this. and how to push out lessons, and then it can be done by anybody. So it's like, the magic. So you can right click on this, by the way. It says the image to the right is clickable to a video. It will go to a video, as I think I just put it right in here. There's the video. I'm not going to walk you through it. You guys have seen it. But sometimes it's good to have that. So why should we use it? Well, this is almost self-explanatory to me. It's collaborative. A lot of the projects are collaborative in nature, where the teacher doesn't have to build the collaboration in. And it's definitely more realistic than when we ask kids to work on tools individually. Now, and I know Erica totally can speak to this, because in the primary, it's really important that we teach our kids some of those basic skills, like what I like to call those nuts and bolts skills that you have, that they have to have in place, right? They have to know how to open a document. They have to know how to insert something. They need to know how to, well, they don't have to save anything, but they need to know how to find things. Although, when we think about using technology with kids, we have to prepare them for an online version and an offline version. So we've got to also teach them in things like, okay, so what if Google goes down? What are you going to use? Hey, Ghostbusters, what are you going to use? Hopefully, you're going to be able to use Word, because you're going to know enough about it and understand the concept. They're both the same thing. Hopefully. All right, so this peer collaboration, of which Erica and I have experienced 3 times today. So like, we collaborate all the time. We're constantly in documents together, working on things like bouncing ideas off of each other, or like pushing out, like right now we're working on a tech camp. We're getting a tech camp ready for the summer. So we're trying to do that together. Well, I'm like, one of us may talk and one of us may type, and that's always me. I always talk, she always types, because I suck at typing, right? So it makes sense, and you're going to use people to their best abilities. And that's how we work as teams. We don't say, oh, I just saw myself bubble there. You lose me totally? Am I back? Okay. I just stopped my video too. It's WebEx has been a little wonky. The network, I think, today has been a little wonky here in general. So we ask people to work in a collaborative setting in a workforce, but schools don't do that. And it boggles my mind, right? It's the teachers that are considered to be cutting edge, where in reality, it's what they need. Kids need to work in a collaborative group, not a group of 20, not even a group of 8, sometimes a group of 5 or a group of 3 or a group of 2. And with elementary kids and even middle school, high school, I think it pays to do all different kinds of sizes. Work them from big down to little and then back up to big, so that they're kind of experiencing all those environments. It allows our kids to be creative, because they're going to actually make stuff, which I think is a huge thing. It's not just chew and spew, sage on the stage. It's our kids are always putting out a product. PD providers, you get that. When we allow our people to put out a product, we get a lot more from them, because they're actually connecting the learning to actual doing. And that's the I do, we do, you do. Same thing. That's what I think Applied Digital Skills does the best of. The I do, we do, you do. All right. So it's also anybody doing project-based. Are you doing that there, Danielle and Fonda? So you got pockets of it, right? Everybody does. And the problem with Erica, how I think my kid, can she play with? Yeah, she's playing with old ink cartridges. Let's see what happens. If not, I'll stop they're all packaged up in plastic things. Well, they were all packaged up in plastic things. I'm going to just pause. Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, geez, what a child. What a child. I gotta take those, baby. Give me those. Yeah. Those are nice. Okay. Thank you. That side of the room, I am the neatest. Erica knows I am like the neatest person in the world. Let's just say there's Post-its and folders and boxes all over the floor. Yep. It looks like a 19-month-old hit my room. It's good. So this project-based learning, I love it. It's great. And it's how I always function in my classroom, but they are hellish to create. No other way to say it, right? It's really hard to pull together lessons that look like this. This is a way to take lessons that are out there and to pull them in pretty easily. And I like, this is like a slide, like for me, I would like screenshot, give this to administrators and say, hey, this is why we use this, and it is free. And it's ready to go. You don't have to do anything. You just have to look at the lesson, be ready to go, and to make it work. Totally adaptable. So you can find a lesson. We're going to actually take that. We're going to put it into a content area, and we're going to do it with a couple of them. Easy to use. I again like this. So this is a checklist of students where they are, because as the students go through and they watch the videos, you actually get it. It checks them off, which is really nice. So once they finish it in the lesson, and they can't just skip their way through them. I mean, yes, they can open another tab, right? They can always do those things, but they have to go through the lesson. And it also says when they have amount of progress done. I don't know if that's brand new. That might be an older component. So this is just an example too of a student outcome when they put it all out. So this is, I love this, budget and unit planning, right? Because I needed this when I was probably starting out, right? I didn't know what a budget was. I don't know how many times I overdrew my checkbook. The first couple times I had them, like, what? I have cash? Never had cash. What's that stuff? Right? Well, I didn't really have cash. Obviously, I overdrew my checkbook multiple times. So, but learning that process is a great thing to learn. There's a couple pieces that I like about applied digital skills. You could make it collaborative, easy. It's a quick and easy add into a classroom that's already going. It's independent in nature, which for students I think is important. So they have to figure out their time management. That is a struggle. Well, for adults and for kids as well, to time manage. And they need to learn that process. Okay, I need to do some of this and then some of that, and I need to work through it. It says it's going to take me 3 hours, but I might not be able to short that. It might take me 4 hours, and I need to know that that's the ability. It also gives every teacher, every student, a teacher right with them. Because how many times do we do something and a student will be like, I don't understand it. I need you to do it again, or I need you to do it again. And, you know, I've actually pushed adults to these because some of them you can only explain it so many times and you run out of ideas. And this is another voice of reason. It's a good way to put that. So, I left it in old Bitly. Sorry, I thought I got them all. I did not. So you're going to you get started, you build some skills, you learn anywhere and just use. So I'm going to go back into the session. So here they are. And let's just kind of look. So let's say I'm looking for, let's look for the resume. All right, so I type in resume. So this used to be just one resume. Okay, so you can see how it's really changed now. So there are 5 lessons for resumes. You'll notice I didn't use audience. So elementary teachers are really bad at this. They always want to put elementary in because they think it's only applicable to them. And as soon as I do this, look at, I lose lessons. So I tend to never use audience because I'm always like, I can always like take one of these and pretty much fix it out. I'm not sure that kids are going to need to update their resume for your civilian job search, right? They don't even know what that means, but could they create a resume? They totally could. They could do it based around their crayons being thrown around my room. They can totally go through the process of what it looks like. This is what the expected outcome is going to look like. These are new. So the exemplars now have there are exemplars for every lesson, which I like. So teachers have an idea of what it should be looking like. So here's our time frame, 45 to 90 minutes. So if I was a classroom teacher doing this the first time, I might say, okay, I'm going to do 120 just to be prepared. I'm going to go a little over. Here's the tools we're going to look at. Here's the skills. And then we do have this, these are the like big chunks. Then I can come in and I can look at the teaching materials. So here we go. we have a lesson plan. Everything is downloadable. So when I click on this and I go, and I think they're downloadable and they will go right into your Google Drive, which is where this is sending me, right? So here we go. I love it. So, man, oh man, if I was still teaching tech, I would have totally used this as a lesson. I would have just gone with one of these and been like, yeah, I'm the best thing since sliced toast, right? I would have, because it would have given me the ability to really customize the work with my students as they were working. I would have brought an administrator in the middle of one of these where my students were all at different places, and I could have gone and worked with them individually while they were struggling, because I could have done 2 minutes with one and 3 minutes with another, or pulled a couple to me. So easy. So it's easy. You can save a copy right to your drive. So basically the first time you're just opening it, then you can go and you're going to save it right to your drive. And here are the learning objectives, the digital skills. See, I'd want to do this. So I'm going to save a copy to my drive, which I'm like, does that work? Because it doesn't look like it does. I would probably just go this way. I'm going to make a copy to my drive, say, okay, I'm going to throw it in the folder that I want to, because I'm a little crazy about that. It needs to be in a right place, because otherwise I won't know where to pick it. Crayons are being transported. Here we go. Select. Okay, we're going to put it in there. Now, when I open it up in Google Drive, the first time teachers get frustrated because they can't edit it. But when you open it up in Google Drive as your own document, it then becomes an editable document if it ever opens. Like I'd be going into that, adding in my New York State standards into that where they fit those new tech standards. So here's my copy. I can go in here and I might want to put a piece in here just like New York State. Yep. Tech standards. So this is where the teacher can take it, whatever it looks like, they can make it their own. Like here's all the pieces that are in here. So video 1, this is what they're going to do. I mean, and these are all very doable lessons, right? They're not hard, I think. So even if you just go with the short amount, you can get that much done. Amelia, get away from those buttons. I know. Hi. I love you too. Come over here. She's enthralled with strips, electrical strips. She will turn off all the buttons, which she has already done 3 times in my office, and I lost my laptop 2 times soon. I have it all blocked off so she can't get to it right now. All right, so the fact that it's customizable and you can come through, and I mean, quite honestly, if you're a teacher that has to use a specific lesson plan, you can take this and you can put it anywhere you want. So you also have tips, right? I love this. So it's like, hey, do this. Reserve 5 minutes for introduction and 5 minutes for closing, which then you're going to go through. It has the actual, this is a outcome, and then over here, thank you. And then over here, you have also some others, what they look like after first draft, what they look like after second draft. So I love that. So it's pretty, I mean, these are pretty totally inclusive. All of those pieces. So there's nothing I feel like left to chance with these. That's a simple one. So let's go back out. I'm going to hit that button over there and let's kind of just do a little bit more of an explore. We're going to go in as the teacher. That was weird. Did you see it said arrow forward? Right? That was weird. And we're going to go in and we're just going to start now. I'm going to sign in because I have not done that. So it should ask me to do that. Amelia. Okay. I'm going to sign in with that account. I have not experienced anybody not having access to this in a district. Erica, you're in a district right now. Can you get into it?
We can, and we've actually even had our kids able to get into it as well.
Right. Some districts do lock it.
I want to
So-
say one of the districts did. Check it first. It's always good.
Yes, always check first. What did you find? Nope, 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 Amelia. She literally snuck around behind all my wires to get to my, get over here. Come here, look at, Amelia, come get some lemonade. Come over here. You gotta come over here to get it. No, you can't have those. Come here. You gotta come here to get it. So you'll see that I have 2 sets of classes here that I set up. And I have some pieces put in. So I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna browse the lessons. I'm gonna come in here. So this is right where we were before. And let's say I want to look for something ELA. Okay. So there's 7 lessons here in ELA. Oh, look at that, Earth Day. I could clear oh, this is how I wanted it, sorry. I can search by digital tool, which I think is awesome. Let's say my teacher wants to do something on drawings. Okay, so there's nothing in ELA drawings, but if I just search for drawings, there's stuff in here for drawings. So I can look, there's 23 lessons on drawings. So I like this one here, design a poster about you. I'm gonna hold it. Come here. No? No. I'll hold it. No. Okay. So design a poster about you, which I think is a really good fit for most primary kids, right? 3, 4, 5. And I think, Erica, you had some 2nd graders that can probably handle this once you go through the skills with them, right? So you can start it. So I'm going to walk through the process. I linked my Google account, and I know you guys have seen this, but I'm just going to add it to my class. So it's going to take me, it's going to say, hey, which ones do you want to see this into? So add this to your classes. They will see a lesson when you sign in. It says, which one do you want to put it into? And it's like, oh, look. So I do like, this is kind of like a new feature. You can now create a new class on the fly. So this doesn't happen very often, right? So I'm going to just say, on the menu crew, right? So, and I'm just going to say it's for adult learners. It's kind of cool now. So it does say middle high school. I don't think that really matters. So it just made the Google Classroom, which I was like, really? Seriously? That fast? And you can view the class. So when I go into the class, there's the class set up. So this is not going out. I'm sorry, I lied to you. It's not going out into Classroom to make it. It made it here within Applied Digital Skills. Like for me, that's how I can do this within with adult learners, because taking adult learners, as Erica has learned, into a digital classroom without, yeah, it's chaos if you're not in a domain. If you're in a domain, it's okay. If you're trying to pull people in from multiple domains, just stop it. It hurts, right? It's just painful. It's so hard to do. So I can do it. Mark a lesson is finished, which I kind of love it. So like you can actually turn something else. Okay. All right. So here's design a poster about you. Here's my OTM crew. And I literally could have you guys do it this way, which I kind of think is fantastic, this new feature. So Danielle, this might fit really well with what you're doing with adults, right? Oh, I guess it would be way more helpful if you were, they have to do more than just have the class code, bonehead. Oh, you go to share, right? Oh, that's weird. Look at, they color coded your numbers. Oh, talk about a nice job. All right, I'm just kind of trying to see this. This is new. So you can see, can view the lesson. This is also new. Oh, I like this. Have you guys done any micro-credentialing, Danielle? A little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think like for me, if I didn't want to go through all the work of micro-credentialing, and I don't because it's a lot of work, I could do it this way. And all I'd really have to do is go through and create a badge for each one of these when they were done. Because the proof that they did it is right there and everything comes out with a product. So I know we look for a lot of things that do micro-credentialing. This is one that'll do it pretty easily. I like easy. It might be because I'm lazy. I'm not. Because there's time, right? It's a time issue. You just don't have the time to build all that. So if you have a district that will support your work in this, you could do it this way and you could push it out. It's going to keep track of your people in there, right? So here's the link of where you're going to go. I'm going to have you guys come into this just so you can kind of see what it looks like. Here's a link. So that's where we're going to go. You're going to click sign in. They will sign in with your Google account or create a new one. It'll say, I am a student. It will say join a class. And then you can join that one right there. No, Amelia, you can't go outside the room. She is literally trying to get outside the door. She is a little. Then I have no co-teachers in here, but this is important, right? Co-teachers can perform the same functions as the main teacher for a class. Ooh, that's kind of awesome. So it has a different code for a co-teacher. So it's down at the bottom. So I could actually send Erica this and we could do this as a co-teaching situation. I don't have any more, baby. You ate it all, you piglet. Here, take a banana. You ate all the oranges I have. I'm sorry. You ate 3 of them. All right, I'm looking. It is not yucky. She just told me it was yucky. Can you hear? Jesus. Does anybody want an 18-month-old? She will eat you out of house and home. One more. I have an apple. You want an apple? There we go. Sorry while I feed the child. There you go. Good girl. Yummy. Yummy. Good girl. Okay. So once you're in there, you can sign up. Pretty easy. Then get in there. A lot. Then when you go through, you can see the lessons. Excuse me while I chew what I'm working on. And I don't think this would take a full 45 minutes, but what a great way to do a pretty simple lesson with kids. Work your way through it. I totally skipped this, by the way. You have sample rubrics. Awesome. This is super cool. So, you know you're going to be without internet, right? Because that would never happen. Erica, I'm thinking of the district the other district that you're in, right? We're never sure what the Wi-Fi is going to look like. You actually can go into that system and you can download all of the videos to your device directly so that you can stream them. I feel like it's gotten better, but sometimes we do have issues. You also have a certificate of completion. That's kind of cool for kids to have. Who are you kidding? That's kind of cool for adults to have. Look at, right? You get to fill it out. So if your district is looking for something that is going to allow you to kind of certificate kids, you can do this. You can also print a blank template, or you can download these and you can just make the changes to them. Now, the trick will be like CTLE. This becomes that conversation. Microsoft said recently that you can't get CTLE credits if it's recorded. I don't believe that's true. I think it's Microsoft's little, like, they're just trying. They're trying in many ways. I don't think that's true because we have so many things that are pre-recorded, right? So you can also print for the entire class. So if I had 4 people in the class and I told it to print, it would choose a whole class. It would put their names in. It would put the lesson in. It would give you the date, right? So you do a whole class at once. All right, for us in that kind of situation, that's a great thing. So you'll see this is what it looks like. It's pretty easy to go through. I saw one of you is in, right? And you can go through and can see where you are. You have your 3 dots. Can move up and down. I can move you around. I can archive you, right? And yet you can push any kind of lessons right through here. So you can also just connect it to your Google Classroom, which is relatively easy. All right, so I'm going to go back into Browse Lessons. So the digital tool, we searched by a tool, which I think is fantastic. Tour Builder, I would stay away from that only because it's supposed to be deprecated in the next couple of weeks. Well, it's not being deprecated, it's being moved. Okay, so it's not being deprecated, it's just being moved. So when we kind of look in here, I hear you. All right. Using Drive to organize files. I don't know about you guys, but every district I've ever been in has TAs that can't do this. I also don't know about you. There's one of me and like 900 of them, right? So push them into a Google Classroom, which number one will give them experience of a Google Classroom, and then push this lesson plan to them so they have that experience. Because what it's going to do, it's going to walk them through how to do this because they don't get it. Not just they don't get it, freaking every freaking teacher out there does not understand it. All right, so I went over to teaching resources instead of browsing lessons to kind of walk you through. There's the getting started. They do have a whole thing on remote learning tips. There are lesson certificates in here. There's a poster, which is kind of cool. So talk about coming like all super prepared. I think they've done, these are, yeah, the posters. Come on, load. I think these are really super nice. I've obviously done these before because, sorry, it's going to open with Cami. Not an advertisement, not a sponsor. That's what I want to say. Not a sponsor. When you come in and look at it, it does kind of show you how, so this is like a careers poster, which is kind of awesome. So like, because I always hear people say things like, oh, I don't need to know how to do that because I'm just going to be a mechanic. Like, that's not true. You need to be able to do these things, right? These are certain things you need to be able to do all the time. And it does go through, like my cosmetologist, she takes my money. She uses a fob to take my money. She just swipes me through. I'm literally, you guys can't see it. I am literally grabbing everything on my desk that she could possibly touch and take from the back side. I am like Wonder Woman here. Just keep going. I'm good, good, good. No, no, no. Yes, you just proceeded to get lemonade all over my monitor in the back. All right. What else is in here? As I keep digging. Lesson plans, the help center, there's all the rubrics sit in there as well. Here's what to do when you go through. You can just go in here to get kids in. So if you wanted to take students and put this site in your Google Classroom and then have them work from there, you don't have to put the whole lesson into Google Classroom. You can just put the link for this into Classroom, which I kind of would recommend, I think, for older students. Because it's okay if they start to learn the navigation across multiple things. It's not a bad thing for them to realize that you use two platforms at the same time. Content teachers get really annoyed with me when I say to stop coddling their students like they're 2-year-olds. But we have to prepare them. Amelia, okay. We have to prepare them to go to college. I know she just pulled something off the counter, but she's walking away with it. She's gonna see how far that goes. It's gonna stop eventually. Okay. Next thing. Sorry, you guys are like the most patient of all people for me to like teach this, and you're thinking. Trying to think the other thing. I just want to go through the end here and see where I am because this is a pretty. So okay, let's change this lesson. 100 plus. That was the one I was going to look for before. So this is 519, almost exactly 2 years ago. And there's my timer. Perfect. So 100 plus lessons. These get added to pretty much, I say every month or so, they add new lessons. Actually, you can submit lessons in if you can find the link. I don't know where it is right now, but there are ways that you can submit lessons. They do ask our trainers to put in lessons. I never have time. It's nice to, you guys don't need the experience to like do it, but this is what it looks like as a student. When they walk in, this is the process, a couple screenshots. I think these are helpful to have so that if you need to use them, you can. And like I said, guys, feel free to use these for whatever you want. Using that TPAC, when we think about the TPAC and how it works, you know, it's pretty, I think it's very easy to use. And I'm sure that you do as well, because you're both technical minded. And I think for IT people, it's easy. I don't even think as like I've taken teachers in here and they're like, oh, this is easy. And I'm like, yeah, it really is. Right. I'm like, it's not hard. So when you understand the ease of use, that makes it simpler and it's easier to push it out. And when we look at what's in here as far as curriculum pieces, I'm going to come back down and just do topics now. You can see that they have everything. Okay, so they don't have everything. You notice what's missing? Music is not here, right? PE is not in here, but you could take a lesson on Google Sheets and have students record where they are in their lessons. Honey, it's not going to go any further. Oh my God, she's trying to make my garbage can a slide. That is not going to work. Okay, so you could use the tools, take the tools and work them into any topic. You don't necessarily have to take the topics and work them into a tool. You can do it the opposite way around. This one right here, the Career and College Ready, is huge. So there are 37 lessons that if I was a teacher getting my kids ready for college, I'd be just diving into here, right? All the time. So there's enough of them. You could do like one per week and you would feel like your kids were ready. You don't have to do them all, but you notice you have study schedule, credibility, resume, annotating text, which I would take some of these lessons and move them over into Word as well. Now, because somebody said this to me the other day, well, colleges don't use Google. And I said, okay, they don't, but I will tell you what I've seen. Every kid that's ever gone to college has ever come to me and asked me, they would say, nice, it is, Erica. It's just like having you in the room, right? It's like every kid that's ever gone to college, they have to do it in Microsoft Office. You know what they do? They take the document, they drop it into Google so they can collaborate on it in Google because it's a lot easier. Then they take it over and they put it into Word. They're smart enough to do it like that. So teach them that process. College information. This is huge for juniors. I would be showing, I have showed this to guidance counselors and say, you need to teach this to kids. Have this part of what they're doing. So as your gap, I mean, we got college information from like 450 colleges. They started to like blur together in a big masked ball. And I'd be like, I don't know who we're talking about. Who was that? What are they offering you? Like, what's the money look like? Because you also can create like, what do I need to do for them? And it's also good to have this when they do that acceptance on your way in as well, because you have so many things you have to go through. All right, so portfolios. My daughter built her portfolio on Google Sites. And then just working through some of those other things as well, right? Sending professional emails. We might need this for staff members that I work with, right? Sending a professional email. Don't laugh. Editing resumes, asking for feedback. There's lots on Sheets, by the way. So if you have a teacher who really wants to go beyond in Sheets, this is the way to send them. I have done this one. It's really good. Filters and charts. Searching for colleges. Everything is in here, for goodness sake. It's so simple. So questions. I'm just going to. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to have to run. I have to teach a class and the bell just rang, but I'll catch the last 10 minutes on the recording.
5. You are a patient woman. Thank you.
No problem. Have fun with that little cutie.
Thanks. Bye. Bye. So the last one is like just really the exploration, going through, working your way through. And you'll see that you can also, when you think about some of those bigger topics, that can be helpful.
I don't see your screen anymore, but it could be my side.
No, you're right. I think I stopped sharing by accident.
Sorry.
So when you're exploring through, those topics have changed. They gave you way more. So there's more topics here, or they've changed them. So these are the old ones. Those are the new ones. Basically, audience, apps, topics. They used to be horizontal. Now they put them on the sidebar and a left sidebar. So that's what sits over here now. And if you get too many, so if you do it like this and you're like, yeah, I want to learn app scripts because I'm just crazy. I want to learn app scripts and nothing's coming through, just clear your filters and start again. I think we all know that. What else is in there? Oh, that's it. Questions. Take that slide out. I would love to show you Smarty Pins, but I really think it's gone by the gone. Let's see. Someone said it was coming back. They lied. It's not back. It's just so sad. It just makes me sad. I love
I like Smarty Pins.
I
Oh,
do too.
I love this.
Okay, so questions.
I feel like I'm being put on the spot and have to have a question. I'm just kidding.
You do have to have a question.
Can you go back into your applied digital skills screen for a minute?
Yep.
Okay. Do those
My dash-
collections change? I know that's a weird question.
Oh, in here, the collections. Do
Yeah.
they change? Yes.
Okay, because I was like, I don't remember seeing those.
Let me go back. They do.
Okay.
I don't know how often they change. I would love to tell you I knew that answer.
Okay, so it's something that's like a rotational change, like every so often.
I'd love to get back to those. Wouldn't that be great? You can also edit your profile over there. I didn't go into that. I figure you guys all know what you're doing, right? Here are a few things it will ask you, which is kind of nice. You can download your data too.
Download, wow.
So anything you have in there. And you can tell them how they will be using it. You can also put your preferred name in there. What do you want your students to call you? You can toggle back and forth.
Wow.
Browsing lessons is where that's at. So in here, they will change. So these are the big lessons that are out there.
Okay.
Probably some in there on digital citizenship if we look. Come here. Did you get your arm stuck? Come here.
Oh, support a positive learning environment. 17 lessons.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing.
Wow.
I have my contact information. I'm going to stop recording.